Ladies and gentlemen, love is one of the most profound emotions a person can experience, and when it is real, it demands full commitment. True love is not something that can be given in fragments or measured in partial efforts. It thrives on devotion, honesty, and an unwavering willingness to nurture the bond between two people. Anything less than complete commitment leads to a relationship that is fragile, unstable, and ultimately unfulfilling. When two people choose to love each other, they must do so with their whole hearts, minds, and souls, or else the relationship becomes a temporary illusion rather than a lasting connection. Commitment in love means showing up every day, not just when it is easy or convenient. It requires the ability to stand by someone's side in their best and worst moments, celebrating their triumphs and supporting them through struggles. Love is not just about the good times, it is also about weathering storms together, facing conflicts with patience, and choosing to fight for the relationship when things get difficult. When one or both partners approach love with hesitation or half-hearted efforts, cracks begin to form. Small doubts, unspoken frustrations, and unmet expectations create a divide that grows over time, leading to discontent and emotional distance. Loving completely also means embracing vulnerability. To love someone fully, you must be willing to open yourself up, share your fears, dreams, and insecurities, and trust that your partner will do the same. This level of vulnerability is not easy, especially in a world where people are often guarded, but it is essential for deep and meaningful connections. When love is given in pieces, when emotions are held back out of fear of rejection or past pain, it limits the potential of the relationship. Real love requires the courage to let go of emotional barriers and allow oneself to be seen in their most authentic form. Actions play a crucial role in demonstrating full commitment. Love is not just about words, it is about consistency, effort, and prioritization. A person who truly loves does not treat their partner as an option or an afterthought. They make time, listen attentively, and invest energy into understanding and supporting their significant other. Small gestures, thoughtful acts, and daily reassurances build a strong foundation of trust and security. In contrast, when love is given sporadically or only when convenient, it creates uncertainty and doubt, making the relationship feel unstable and unreliable. Honesty is another fundamental aspect of loving completely. A committed love is transparent and free of deception. It means communicating openly, expressing feelings without fear, and ensuring that trust is never compromised. A relationship built on honesty fosters a safe space where both partners feel valued and understood. Hiding truths, keeping secrets, or avoiding difficult conversations only weakens the foundation of love, leading to misunderstandings and eventual heartbreak. There is no room for selfishness in complete love. While self-care and individuality are important, love flourishes when both partners are willing to compromise and consider each other's needs. True commitment means making sacrifices when necessary, adjusting plans for the well-being of the relationship, and showing up even when it is inconvenient. When love is self-serving, when one partner prioritizes their desires over the other's happiness, it creates an imbalance that leads to resentment and disconnection. Ultimately, love that is not fully committed is not truly love at all. It may feel comforting in the moment, but over time it becomes a source of confusion, frustration, and pain. Real love requires effort, persistence, and the willingness to go all in without hesitation or conditions. Anything less than complete commitment is a disservice to both individuals involved. If you choose to love, do it fully. If you cannot, it may be best to step back and let go, allowing space for a love that is whole, certain, and unwavering. Holding on to half love is one of the most dangerous things a person can do in a relationship. It may seem like a safe choice, a way to keep something rather than lose everything, but in reality, it slowly erodes the emotional well-being of both people involved. Love is meant to be whole, to bring fulfillment, security, and a sense of deep connection. When it is only given in fragments, when it is hesitant or inconsistent, it creates a cycle of uncertainty and pain that can be far worse than letting go. One of the biggest dangers of half love is the emotional toll it takes on the person who desires more. Love should never feel like a constant battle for attention, validation, or effort. When one person is giving their all while the other is only half present, the imbalance leads to exhaustion and self-doubt. The one who is fully invested starts to question their worth, wondering if they are asking for too much or if they are simply not enough. Over time, this emotional struggle chips away at confidence and self-esteem, making it harder to see the reality of the situation. Half love creates false hope. When someone stays in a relationship where love is inconsistent, they often cling to the moments of warmth and affection, hoping they will become the norm rather than the exception. They replay the good times in their mind, convincing themselves that if they just try harder or more patient or love a little more, things will change. But half love is not about effort, it is about willingness. If a person is not fully choosing to love, no amount of patience or effort from the other can change that. Waiting for someone to give more when they are unwilling to do so only prolongs pain and prevents the possibility of finding the love that is truly deserved. Another danger of holding on to half love is that it can make a person settle for less than they deserve. Love should bring joy, security, and a sense of being valued. When it is given inconsistently, it often teaches a person to accept the bare minimum to be grateful for occasional affection instead of expecting steady and reliable love. This mindset can bleed into other areas of life, making a person feel unworthy of full commitment and preventing them from seeking out relationships that are truly fulfilling. Half love is also damaging because it keeps both people stuck. The one who desires more remains trapped in unfulfilled needs, while the one who gives less is never challenged to grow. Sometimes people continue offering only fragments of love because they are never required to do more. They know that no matter how little they give, the other person will stay, hoping and waiting. In some cases, the person offering half love may not even realize they are doing it. They may be emotionally unavailable, fearful of commitment, or unsure of what they truly want. But by staying in that dynamic, neither person finds the clarity they need. The one giving half love is not pushed to reflect on their actions or make a choice, while the one receiving it remains in a state of painful uncertainty. The hardest truth about half love is that it rarely turns into full love. If someone truly wants to be with you, they will show up with their whole heart. They will not make you feel like an afterthought or leave you questioning where you stand. Love should not feel like a guessing game or a challenge to prove your worth. It should feel secure, mutual, and unwavering. Letting go of half love is difficult, but it is often the only way to make room for the love you truly deserve. Walking away is not giving up. It is choosing to honor yourself. It is deciding that you deserve more than inconsistency and that you are worthy of love that is whole, certain, and complete. Letting go is one of the hardest things a person can do, especially when emotions are deeply involved. It often feels like an act of surrender, like giving up on something that once meant weak everything. But in reality, letting go is not a sign of weakness, it is an act of immense strength. It takes courage to walk away from something that no longer serves you, to release attachments that bring more pain than joy, and to trust that better things lie ahead. Holding on can sometimes feel like the safer choice, but it is not always the right one. True strength is knowing when to hold on and when to release something that is no longer meant for you. One of the biggest reasons letting go is so difficult is because of the fear of the unknown. People stay in relationships, situations, and even thought patterns longer than they should because they are afraid of what life will look like without them. The uncertainty of the future feels overwhelming, and the idea of starting over seems impossible. But strength is found in facing that fear head-on, in choosing growth over comfort, and in trusting that even though the road ahead is unclear, it will lead to something better. Letting go is an act of faith, not necessarily in a spiritual sense, but faith in oneself and the ability to heal, and in the belief that life has more to offer than what is currently being experienced. Another reason people struggle to let go is the emotional investment they have put into a situation. It is painful to walk away from something that has been nurtured with time, effort, and love. The memories, the shared experiences, and the dreams of what could have been create a strong attachment that is not easily broken. But strength is in recognizing that just because something was meaningful does not mean it is meant to last forever. Some relationships, no matter how deeply felt, reach a point where they no longer contribute to personal growth or happiness. Holding on out of obligation, guilt, or nostalgia only prolongs suffering. It takes strength to acknowledge that alone is not always enough and that some endings are necessary for new beginnings. Letting go is also an act of self-respect. Staying in situations where love is inconsistent, where needs are unmet, or where happiness is constantly compromised only leads to self-betrayal. It sends a message that settling for less than what is deserved is acceptable, but choosing to let go is a declaration of self-worth. It is saying, I deserve more than this, even when it hurts to walk away. It is refusing to accept a love that is conditional, hesitant, or unfulfilling. It is choosing to prioritize inner peace over temporary comfort. This kind of strength is not always visible to others, but it is deeply felt by the one who chooses it. Letting go does not mean forgetting, erasing, or denying the emotions that were once real. It means making peace with them, learning from them, and moving forward without being weighed down by them. It means allowing yourself to grieve what was lost, but not letting that grief define the future. Strength is found in the ability to acknowledge pain without being controlled by it. Ultimately, letting go is not about weakness or failure. It is about recognizing when something is no longer serving your highest good and having the courage to release it. It is about choosing yourself, trusting your path, and opening yourself to the possibility of something better. The strength to let go is the strength to grow, to heal, and to embrace the life that is waiting on the other side. Choosing what you deserve is one of the most powerful decisions you can make in life. It is an act of self-respect, self-love, and self-awareness. Too often, people settle for less than they deserve because they fear being alone, worry about starting over, or convince themselves that they should be satisfied with whatever they have. But true happiness and fulfillment come from recognizing your worth and refusing to accept anything that does not align with it. Choosing what you deserve is not about being selfish or unrealistic. It is about setting standards, knowing your value, and not compromising on the things that matter most. One of the biggest obstacles to choosing what you deserve is self-doubt. Many people struggle with believing they are worthy of deep, fulfilling love and happiness. They may carry wounds from past relationships, experiences that made them feel unworthy or unlovable. These fears create a mindset that accepting less is better than risking rejection or disappointment. But strength comes from understanding that no past pain defines your worth. Every person deserves a love that is mutual, a life that brings joy, and relationships that provide security and respect. It is important to recognize that settling for less does not protect you from pain, it only guarantees long-term dissatisfaction. Another reason people do not always choose what they deserve is the fear of losing someone they care about. It is difficult to walk away from a relationship, a friendship, or even a job that feels familiar, even if it is not fulfilling. People convince themselves that some love is better than no love, or that a stable situation, even if it is unhappy, is better than uncertainty. But staying in spaces that drain you emotionally or fail to meet your needs only leads to resentment and exhaustion. Letting go of what does not serve you creates room for something better. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right love will never require you to settle for less than what makes you happy. Choosing what you deserve also means setting boundaries. It requires knowing when to say no, when to walk away, and when to demand more. Boundaries are not about pushing people away, but about protecting your emotional well-being. A person who values themselves does not accept half-hearted love, disrespect, or inconsistency. They communicate their needs clearly and expect them to be met. If someone cannot meet those needs, they understand that it is not a reflection of their worth, but simply a sign that the relationship is not the right fit. It is important to remember that choosing what you deserve is not about perfection. No relationship, no job, and no situation will be flawless. But there is a difference between imperfection and incompatibility. Struggles and challenges are natural, but feeling unfulfilled, undervalued, or disrespected should never be. The key is to recognize the difference between working through difficulties and forcing something that is not meant for you. Choosing what you deserve is an act of courage. It means facing the possibility of being alone, of stepping into the unknown, of demanding more even when it is uncomfortable. But the reward is a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. It is better to wait for the right love than to hold on to one that makes you feel inadequate. It is better to chase a career that excites you than to settle for one that drains your spirit. It is better to be alone with self-respect than surrounded by people who do not appreciate you. At the end of the day, choosing what you deserve is about believing in your own worth and acting accordingly. It is about not accepting less than what brings you happiness and fulfillment. The moment you decide to stop settling is the moment you create space for the life, the love, and the happiness you truly deserve.